Okay, we are good to go. Good evening. Welcome to Azure Developer Community Tamilnadu. So today we have interesting session integrating ChatGPT 4.0 for success across your daily life. We have Abhi, and I will just give a introduction about our community. Then I'll hand it over to Abhi. So in this slide, Abhi, 1 minute. Yeah, yeah, you can go in presenter mode. Yep,
Yeah.
perfect. So, Azure Developer Community, we have been doing these activities for the past 4 years, and so we are running across Tamil Nadu, and mostly we are having offline events in Chennai. Abhi, you can go to the next slide. Yeah. So myself, Navneet and Gopal, I'm part of this community, and we have some other folks who is supporting us to run this community. So mostly we are running the offline events in Chennai every third Saturday. I mean third week of Saturday we are running it, and mostly we are going theme-based topics like AI, data, DevOps, security, and so on. So if you are interested, you can visit our meetup page and you can get the event updates. And we are giving a forum where different experienced people can come and learn together. So we are starting from beginners and experience level people. We are having different sessions. So feel free to join us, and even we are conducting Azure certification study jams as well. Other than that, we are planning some tech talks or workshops in the colleges. So in your college, if you need any tech talks or you need some speakers help, please let us know. We are happy to help. And if you are interested to share your knowledge with our community, uh, we are happy to give the opportunity, and we are giving more preference to women speaker and first time speakers. Yeah, and I will give short intro about our speaker, Abhilek Verma. Thank you, Abhi, for sharing your knowledge with our community. Yeah, passionate founder, trainer, and mentor with over decade years of experience in the world of IT sales and sales training. His journey began with an MBA in marketing from IBS, Hyderabad, followed by multiple certifications in C, C++, and SPSS. So his journey took a significant turn when he founded his own sales coaching firm in December 2023, following a successful career as a corporate sales trainer and team leader at KPMG India. Once again, thank you, Abhi, and I welcome you all. I look forward to the session. Abhi, over to you.
Thank you, Navanithan. Thank you for inviting me. It's a lovely Sunday here, and I hope the session will be very interactive. So if there's anyone who have any questions or something, happy to take up at the end of the session as well. So yeah, I mean we are here on the very fascinating topic I would say, which is about integrating Chat GPT 4.0. Because again, you see, like when I was a kid, I was very fascinated with softwares, with a lot of tech and stuff like that. Though I don't come specifically from an engineering background, but then I understand, like when you grow up more from a commerce background, you talk about finance, sales, and a lot of things. So you also should know about tech and stuff like that. So I developed a very strong interest in the Chat GPT very early in my career, where I was doing a lot of government tender works with Telangana government as well as Andhra Pradesh government. So along with IoT, I was also building some things around AI, ML as well. That's where I got this interest, and luckily, I also got a chance recently to visit Singapore. As you can see on the screen, I had a chance to do an interaction with an AI robot at the Super AI conference at Marina Bay Sands, which was on 5th and 6th June. So yeah, I mean, I'm here to describe about how this Chat GPT can change your life. Whether you're a developer out there, you're a student, or whether you are someone who is planning to run your own enterprise or a startup, right? It doesn't matter. What really matters is how are you most effective with the help of such AI tools, which we now have access to. Because again, earlier there were no such tools. Right now, there are a lot of such tools, and I would also recommend some of the things before I get deep dive into the topic. Now, just to give you a like a just gist of what are we going to cover today. So a little bit about me, it's already been done. A little bit of the introduction why we are here, why we want to learn about ChatGPT, and why it is so important. I was just having a conversation with a few of my cousins, and we were understanding why this is so important. Because again, when you talk about the job market right now, everyone is getting into AI. Everyone wants to upskill themselves, right? So this is super important for you to understand about ChatGPT and let's say prompt engineering, right? And what impact does it have on a day-to-day life, right? Because again, think about, you do a lot of things in a particular day, whether you go to a shopping, place to buy groceries, or let's say, you try to use it in terms of making a PowerPoint presentation, or let's say, any kind of a productivity work which you do at your home, right, or at your workplace. Everywhere this solution can optimize your time, ensuring you become super efficient, as well as your learning can be enhanced. So everyone is a student in life. I mean, I don't say I'm not yet a student or someone who has left studying. I mean, because AI is all about upskilling. So we have to keep learning, regardless of how much knowledge we try to gather with a lot of stuff, right? And we also talk about streamlining workflows. So professionals, as being a corporate trainer, I have realized, if I can really use these kind of workflows, make things more clearer, something like an Hawkeye view. So I can really do a lot of things. I can do a lot of things in as limited time as possible, right? And then yes, I mean, my favorite topic, which is prompt engineering, I'm also going to show you some of the prompts as well. And then we also talk about some advanced prompt engineering, why it is also important for you. I will also share some of the case studies where I had my own personal success with ChatGPT as an entrepreneur, right? The last two topics being how do we save time with ChatGPT, and then the last and the most important is how do we do more with less. Okay, so how do we increase our efficiency and all those kind of technologies, how do we use it in a day-to-day solution so that we get the best output on a single day, right? So these are some of the basic content which we will address, and I'm sure you can post your views, any kind of questions you have on YouTube, and I'll definitely try to answer that whenever I get time to look up to your questions. Navneetan has already given you a brief about what I do. Adding to a little bit of that, I've been running a specific AI/ML startup which is incubated at CI Triple IT Hyderabad. I have also been started as a mentor at Vadhvani Foundation. So this is for Ignite program, which is specifically for student entrepreneurs. I'm very passionate about mentoring. I've had been featured in 34 international podcasts and media. This has always been my favorite part. So sharing knowledge is something very important. This is my 61st session in Gen AI, and I have done over 250 plus sessions in the past, including topics like AI, IoT, Salesforce, and of course my favorite, sales coaching. I've been, twice a quarter I was LinkedIn top voice for lead generation. I've written two important books. One is on market research for online marketing, and the other one, my favorite, was Introverts Hidden Meaning, because we describe life about how introverts work and things like that. I've had very good success working with like organizations and educational institutions, not just in India, but also in different countries. I've also integrated with big colleges like Harvard, MIT, Berkeley. I also work with some early stage startups at Boston University as well. Now, before we get deeper into the topic, one of the key thing which I really wanted to highlight is the future. Okay, so as you can see on the left hand side, there's a robot sitting right in the middle of nowhere. I mean, like, if you see, just there's nobody else as a speaker here, and there's a robot, and this is exactly what is going to happen in next 10 years, right? So one think about, like, there are a lot of people who are very old age, and they are someone who want to get some kind of knowledge, or let's say they want to learn something, right? And maybe their kids, their granddaughters, grandsons don't have time, right? And this is how the storytelling is going to work in the future. So as you can see, this robot is interacting with someone who are old age. They're getting all that kind of knowledge, and with the brain, you can see this cell, right? With the brain, they're also trying to understand their emotions to make this more interactive and make this more engaging in terms of storytelling. I'm sure you have been to TEDx events, right? So you have seen large events, or let's say you talk about Tony Robbins, where they do unleash your power from within and all those things. Similarly with ChatGPT, people are going to do such kind of large events in the future, right? where you can see like a space of maybe 15,000, 20,000 people coming together to learn about chat gpt and things like that. And this is what the benefit of storytelling it, because you come up with some kind of a story, make it more engaging, and people really love it and they participate it. Just like you have TEDx events and such amazing meetups, which the Azure community is running, let's say in Tamil Nadu right now. I would also like to focus a little bit more, before dragging you directly to ChatGPT. So these are some of the things I've done in the past this year, right? So if you see on the left hand side, this is a lecture I did for around 3 hours with Anurag University. It's one of the college in Hyderabad with 200 BTech students. And the passion I saw for students learning about ChatGPT, the kind of ideas they have for startups was just amazing, right? So it really matters right now for entrepreneurs. So if you're not going to the bandwagon of entrepreneurship, you should definitely think about it, regardless of if you're working somewhere, or let's say you have a great startup idea. You can obviously reach out to a lot of people right now and get funded, right? So this is just an example of what I did at Anurag University. This one which you see on the middle and on the right side is about Triple IT Hyderabad, where I organized a specific boot camp on design thinking, where I brought 30 people together, and these were mix of students, corporate professionals, entrepreneurs, right? So all of them came together. We gave them some different ideas, and there were some winners, who got some kind of awards, because their idea was really different, and there was a majority of people really liking their idea, right? So that's the importance of storytelling, right? Just to give you another slide, I was being mentored at Co-Karma, with a lot of people at Triple IT Hyderabad, and they suggested us to have this founders roundtable. Right. Similarly, I had a chance to go to Bangalore with AI Camp. So they gave me a chance where I could, do a lecture on ChatGPT, which is, at Lavely Road at Microsoft Reactor in Bangalore. Right. So these are some examples I'm just sharing, so you can visualize and take it so seriously about ChatGPT, because it is really going to help you in your day-to-day things, right? So think about someone who is coming from a non-technical background and teaching a data scientist, right? And that's what I you can see on the screen. So this is just because of the amount of knowledge and amount of things you can learn with this amazing beautiful tool, right? This is all also some things I would not like to go much detail, but these are also some networking and community events which I am part of, which I am very passionate of doing and leveraging in terms of meeting a lot of new clients, meeting a lot of new people who I can learn and whom I can teach, right? So these are some of the places where I do networking and things like that. Now again, as I've been talking about chat gpt, there's also something specifically I wanted to showcase before we move to the prompt part. So this is exactly the plan of what Elon Musk was saying earlier. They want to have a society where there are flyless cars, or let's say drones out there. And as you can see here, this is a hologram. Okay, so it is going to change, like there's no one on the street driving a car. It's all driverless cars, right? And based upon people's emotion, the road color will change. Okay, so someone is angry, they might get a red color. Someone is happy, they might get a yellow color, right? So this hologram signifies the future of the intersection between the AI, ML, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, and all those emerging technologies, right? And this is what the future looks like. And these are all generated by DALI, chat gpt, right? And this is exactly what I've been always advocating and telling people to learn about it, right? Now, yeah, I mean, quickly going on to why ChatGPT is super important for you right now. So I'm sure there are a lot of people. You can write in the YouTube chat. How many of you have used ChatGPT for idea generation, right? So I would love to know like how many of you have put it for idea generation. I can give an example. Like for example, I applied to a lot of speaker events. Okay, so there was one event happening at Microsoft Chicago, and they were asking some topics related with chat gpt. And I really thought, what are the different unique ideas that can really bring a lot of interest to them, right? So I gave a prompt on chat gpt saying like, give me unique ideas on chat gpt which no one has ever given in the past, or something like that, or at least give me some ideas which has some strong case studies, right? So they gave me a set of 5 or 6 ideas. I then try to make it more precise. Went back to ChatGPT. So basically, ChatGPT is nothing but your friend. Okay, just like how you conversate with your friend. So when you try to meet your friend, you try to give them the context, right? Most of the people, they're not able to use ChatGPT and do justice because they talk to ChatGPT as a robot, which is not the case. You have to treat ChatGPT as your friend. So when you try to meet someone who's a stranger out there, or let's say who's going to become your friend, you try to find the common ground, or let's say you try to know what they know, or you try to know exactly what they are looking for, right? So that's the thing with ChatGPT as well. We need to give them some excellent ideas so that they can work upon that, right? And it should be coming from within, right? It shouldn't be like you're just giving them a random prompt, because they are going to give you a random answer to that. So you have to do a well researched prompt to them. I'm also going to show you some of the short prompts websites where I use it to generate everyday amazing prompts, in the later part of the section. Right. Next part is again, it also helps me in framing strategies for AIML topics and discussions with corporate professionals. Just like when I mentioned discussing with data analysts, data scientists, I've been training a lot of data scientists on AIML topics, and there are different strategies they are also looking, because they also want to study in abroad. They want to do an education. So before going there, they need to know the basics. So they come to me and I help them with those kind of topics, and everything is solely dependent on this tool, because this tool helps me save my time, right? Because think about giving a lecture to around 500 people, but you cannot be physically available to give a lecture to all those 500 people at a single time. So you can do it virtually, make different groups, and maybe record it and do things like that, right? I remember applying for a speaker session, which is like to be going to be pre-recorded, because I'm not in Italy right now, right? So I'm just going to give them a lecture of mine, and it is going to play in an university in Italy. And that's the power of AI, because you can really be comfortable. You can really do sessions virtually, and you can connect with a lot of people. And then the last part, which is super important, not just for me but for everyone, you want to reach out to masses, whether you are in a startup community, or whether you are specifically in a corporate professional environment, where you're interested for product management, for DevOps, for AIML, and all those technologies. You can really reach out to a lot of people, right? You can really change a lot of people's ideologies. You can give them some kind of feedback and things like that, right? It's always about asking what's working and what's not working, right? So these are some of the overview of my experience with ChatGPT. And obviously all these images are really fascinating, because I really love how ChatGPT helps me to get those AIML images as quick as possible. This is about what is we are going to cover up. I'm not going to go much deeper on this slide, but I'm just going to show you the picture. If you can see in the below part of this, right? So you can see a lot of code words, a lot of things. So just like when we were learning computers, when we were kids, right? So we used to learn that one and zero language, right? The same thing happens with AIML, right? So you give a prompt, it goes in Python, and then the solution, the LLM understands it, and then it translates it back to you in your language, right? With ChatGPT we have 20 plus languages, I think more than 25, 26 languages, right? So think about you're based in Japan, and you want to conversate in Japanese. You give a prompt in your own language, it will convert to English or whatever language they want to know, and then it will give you back the prompt in Japanese as well. Even it can send you a audio recording in Japanese, right? So that's the power of ChatGPT, and that's an important thing I've been highlighting about integrating into our daily day-to-day life. Now think about, you have to travel to another country. Okay, so you are a developer, and you realize, like, there's a foreign trip waiting for you. You want to go to US, and when you go to US, there are some places where you really want to meet some diplomats out there, and you want to learn some language and things like that. So the translation part can be really effective if you use this tool, right? Same thing when I've been talking about prompt engineering, right? So again, giving those precise and effective interactions is super important right now. I mean, giving a prompt is one thing, but giving a precise solution to the prompt is the most important, right? So you have to be very careful of how you give prompts and things like that. Now, here's a quick example. Okay, considering now we have got more into theoretical aspect, let's go a little bit on the practical aspect of what I've been, advocating about ChatGPT, right? So, think about, there are a lot of difficult problems. Think about you giving a cat exam, or you giving a GMAT or TRE, GRE, or let's say a TOEFL, or any kind of an exam to get selected in a different country. Right. So these are different exams, but with ChatGPT, you can really get solutions with greater accuracy. Right. So if you want to do practice tests, you can just upload one of those questionnaire, and you can get the solution with a greater accuracy. Right. So that's what the GPT-4 does. Right, because it has a broader knowledge, right, and it can do a lot of problem solving abilities. Right, and I've also met some Bollywood, Tollywood, and Hollywood, like people, who are also into songwriting, who do lyrics and things like that, and they have been using Chat GPT. Would you believe they use Chat GPT to make their script much better, right? So that's the level of adoption I can say with Chat GPT 4.0. Right, so here's an example. As you can see, now this is with a basic GPT model, where someone is mentioning, there are few people in this input, as you can clearly see. I'm going to quickly read it for you. So Andrew is free from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., while Joan is free from noon to 2 p.m., and then 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, so that means like this person has a specific time when they're available. The other person is free 12 to 2, as well as 3:30 to 5. Now, when it comes to HANA, they are available at noon for half an hour. That means 12 to 12:30, and then 4 to 6. So it's like a kind of what I can say is like an empirical question. You have to find a common time for them. So we just want to know what will be the best 30 minutes for Andrew, Hannah, and John. Okay, so what will be the best time for them to meet together? Think about, these are in different locations, and because of the time zones, they are available only at these times, right? So a general chat GPT model, what it will give me is a solution, something like saying, look, Andrew might be available from 11 to 3, which you can see already in the input. John can be available as the two slots which has given, and Hannah has the two slots they have given. So based upon this permutation and combinations, they are guessing like maybe 4 p.m. to 4:30 would be perfect. Though, if you can clearly see here, Andrew is not available after 3, right? But this basic GPT model is suggesting like 4 to 4:30 is the right time. Right, so though Joan and Hannah is available between 4 to 4:30, but Andrew, as you can see, is available till 3 only. But this model makes a small mistake, and it gives you a solution saying like let's schedule a call at 4. Now here you make a mistake, but then when you go to something like an advanced model like GPT-4, it is giving an exact solution. Look, 12 to 12:30, all three will be available, right? So that's the important part of accuracy when I'm talking about, right? And this is what your prompt engineering can do, and your GPT-4s can do. So you talk about any kind of tools available there. You have Gemini, you have with Azure, you have all those tools available, whether it's open source or a lot of tools. Everywhere the the latest model, which is the 4, right? It is super useful, and it can really give you the exact accurate answer and not make such kind of mistakes, right? So this is super important thing which I really wanted to highlight. Now, coming to the impact. Okay, so now I have already talking about like what are the things it can do. Now, what about our daily day-to-day routines, right? So think about, I'm doing communication right now, I'm trying to communicate with you, providing you some kind of facility in terms of understanding about this solution, right? So it is helping me to enhance my communication. It is going to suggest me what better I can do, right? So let's say if my lecture is at 4 p.m. IST, right? So it will tell me like you really need to be prepared at XYZ time, and you really need to do the preparation in advance, right? And they will make a schedule for me, right? So it's not just they will just say me you do XYZ, but they'll also try to show me how to implement that, right? And that is what I'm talking about, assistance, giving you that accurate assistance in your daily tasks, right? So think about, you want to code something, you want to learn Python, you want to learn a new language, and you want to code, and you want to know that accurate assistance in your day-to-day life, right? You might be a data scientist, and you have very limited time, right? So you really want to make it super productive. So you go and give a prompt which will help you in giving you a great schedule, and it can really save your time, because I save close to 2.5 hours every day with the help of chat gpt 4.0. Depending upon your schedule, you can also save a lot of time in terms of with both communication and assistance. Now, let's talk about information access, right? So think about, there are a lot of scenarios which are very difficult to search on Google. Okay, so when you go to Google or when you go to Bing and you search some kind of thing you want to get. So I want to do a research, let's say on a paper. I want to do a research on a paper which is about neuro programming, or let's say neuro language and things like that. I want to do research on, let's say, psychology and things like that. But then Google will, or let's say Bing will give me very limited information, and it will give me a lot of different links and things like that. So I might not be able to finalize which is the best for me. But with ChatGPT 4.0, it can really facilitate it and get the right information at the right time in front of your eyes, and it can also process that in different scenarios. So if you give a kind of a, a scenario to the, prompt. Okay, so let's say you say like, I want to get a research data of specifically this specific industry, which is between July 2024 to April 2024. So you're trying to ask about the future. All right, so you're going to ask about the next couple of months, how the future looks for this. Let's say you're talking about ed tech industry. You want to know what are the startups out there, with whom you can actually complete and things like that, right? So you try to ask that, so it will give you a very precise answer to the point. But when you go to Google and search, it might not give you that kind of a precise answer, right? And the last one being creative assistance. Now, one of the key things, as you can see on the slide, the beautiful images, right? So these are all AI generated, right? And it can also help you to increase your creativity level. I remember a candidate coming to me saying, they were looking for a job. Unfortunately, their resume they have just downloaded, somewhere from a website online, like an AI tool. But then again, they were really confused because the JD, was anyhow matched, though they didn't had the skill set. So we went back to ChatGPT 4.0 to first give their profile. We uploaded their LinkedIn profile. We also uploaded their resume and asked ChatGPT to suggest what is the genuine thing you need to put in your resume to make it more effective to apply to any job, right? So I mean, there's a thing people do, fake it until you make it, but I don't recommend that, because when you actually go and apply for a job, you're going to be judged based on your skill set, which you know, right? So you should always put things in your resume which make sense and which you can do it, right? So fueling creativity and also problem solving can be done with this amazing tool, right? So a lot of creative people come to me, there is a lot of events happening with products, and with like UX designers and things like that, right? And in fact, I was at Singapore, and I was just going through one of the exhibitors. It was Locofy, and I really saw the beautiful designs they had, and the beautiful t-shirts which they were giving, to the audience like us, right? So everywhere there is creativity, and everywhere people are using such tools. I've even seen people using tools, in deepfake technologies. I'm going to discuss about one of my success stories on that as well on the later part as well. But I'm just sharing you, it can be super creative. It can do a lot of problem solving, and it can generate a lot of money for you as well, right? Now this is for the audience who are here, who are students. Probably they are in their engineering, or they are from a commerce, arts, management background, any background, right? Or maybe you're from an education which is on a higher side. Maybe you're an MBA, you're an MTech or a PhD. So it really helps you in research and study support both. I've done a lot of academic research freelance consulting work for my clients using ChatGPT, and they have really been super effective. The only thing you need to be very careful is to ensure you have Turintin and other softwares which will help you with plagiarism, because plagiarism is something super important for all those kind of assignments which you do for students. But then yes, this could be a good source of income for you. If let's say you're a student and you want to help a student who's based in Mexico, and they want to get a good grade, let's say in their academic research work, or let's say they want to improve their skill sets in marketing management. So you can use this tool to give you some insights and help to make that document much better, to get them a better grade, right? Next is task management. Like I get a lot of reminders every day, about what are the tasks I need to do. I mean, I'm sure you have calendar already, but then there are a lot of tools, which you can use to manage your things. So I started long back with Trello, because I really loved how I can see that project management thing, everything at the specific location. I don't have to worry, I can automate a lot of things. Same thing you can do with Canva. You can make a lot of different posters and things like that. So how do you make that efficient task management and planning, right? So you can use this AI tools, right, to automate things. Think about someone who wants to get up as early as possible. They can use AI reminders through different tools, and they can get that quickly sorted, right? So this is for students specifically who are here, who want to learn about ChatGPT and things like that. Now coming to the corporate professionals who are here, right? So a lot of people ask me, Abhilek, like, I've been really stressed. I have a very tough job, and like there are like a lot of people I need to reply to. I do a lot of community events, by the way, and it's little troublesome for me. How do I streamline my task? How do I schedule it, right? I remember hiring a virtual assistant long back from Philippines, and they helped me to schedule all my things in advance. I found them through a website called Fiverr, right? But then now with ChatGPT, even you can ask, where I can find those VAs, which I say virtual assistants, because maybe spending a few amount, but making sure you get your tasks done, right, and do every kind of an analysis so that you can increase your output. Because at the end of the day, if your output is increasing, it is going to help your career, right? It is going to help your go a next level up, right? You get another promotion and things like that. So for your productivity boost, it's always important to delegate the work. If you do everything yourself, it becomes a troublesome. You will have headaches, you'll have a lot of things going on your mind. You might not do things super efficiently. So for that, I would recommend to you to get a VA, a virtual assistant. You can find online. You can use ChatGPT to ask, where you can find them. Workflow optimization. So this is now going a little bit deeper. Here I am talking about content generation, customer interactions, and decision support. Right. So now I remember, checking out a lot of websites where I can learn about this kind of, marketing courses and things like that. I don't now have to go back to all this website. Even I don't have to go to Coursera, to actually see those videos and things like that. I just go to ChatGPT, give them a prompt. I want to learn content generation. I want to learn how to interact with customers. I want to become super efficient in decision making and things like that. And it will give me the exact workflow I need to do every single moment of my life, right? And that's the power of streamlining workflows, right? So I mean, because you do a lot of tasks and you really want to make sure your work is streamlined, right? Now coming quickly to prompt engineering basics, a lot of people ask me, like, Abhilek, like, one of the key things you've been talking about ChatGPT is prompt engineering, right? So what is so important when it comes to prompt engineering, right? So prompt engineering is all about, like, you come to know, what kind of specific keywords you can give, okay, to make your life easier, right? Think about people searching you online, okay, so they want to search Abhilek Verma. If you go to Google, you search Abhilek Verma, you'll find the first 10 pages about me, because I have registered over 2000 plus websites. I've been there online, right? So how do you make yourself available? I mean, one is SEO, okay, so you put yourself, you push your keywords and things like that, right? Another is if you can master prompt engineering, right? You know where to apply, where to get selected, and where to do that activity again and again, right? So one of the key principles I recommend for prompt engineering is to talk about effective and precise prompt, right? Because if you give an effective and precise prompt, there's a chance the AI will love to interact with you, because once you give a prompt, it is going to come back with a kind of solution, but it will ask your permission before it publishes a solution, right? And that's the benefit you get with doing the prompt engineering correct, or what I say, right. All right. Now effective communication skills, because again, you have clear engaging thoughts, you have contextually relevant prompt ideologies in your mind, right? Earlier, people really wanted to do prompt, specifically to write a blog post, which is 2000 to 3000 words. Now people use this to write on different platforms, like they want to write articles, right? Even the word limit is now increased to 25,000 words. So that's the amazing power you can have. I mean, think about, you can actually write a book, so I recommend a lot of people to start writing their first book using ChatGPT. You can get a lot of ideas. It can even write a book under 24 hours. I have a client, who is in Greece, and they were just saying, like, under 24 hours they use ChatGPT, and they were able to publish their book on Amazon, and they were able to do 10 sales of their book the same day, right? So all those ideas they got from ChatGPT, right? So this is the benefit of using it for your day-to-day, advantages, right? Image reading capabilities. Now Just like our eyes might not be able to read everything. What I can say is, if you're going through any PowerPoint presentation, if it's an 1 hour presentation, there's likely chances your mind will only be able to focus maximum for 6 minutes, right? So there's some research being done, because you cannot remember everything, right? I mean, if you go back, rehearse, and then get things, that's another thing, but then you cannot remember everything, but you will remember images, right? Because those images will stick to your mind for a longer period of time. This is what the benefit of chat gpt is. It can really process those high level images. It can get that capability it's having that capability inbuilt, which it can do that amazingly well, right? And the good part, right? So even if you are from a non-english speaking country, you feel like english is a challenge, right? So I was conversating with one of my mentees. She's based out of Sri Lanka, and she was mentioning, like, she cannot conversate in english, right? So I mentioned her, you can learn a lot of things through chat gpt, and you can conversate through english, because ultimately when you go out, you cannot use local language, right? When you go and talk to a lot of people, so english is the prime language. So you can also access, you can get that access once you have this tool in place, and you can learn other than Sinhalese, or the local language, which you would be speaking, like Tamil and things like that, right? 82% less likely to respond to requests for disallowed content, because yes, a lot of people want to hack, a lot of people want to get into hacking and things like that. So chat gpt is also very clever. Now there are a lot of government websites, there are a lot of places where there are a lot of content which is not that much secure. So a lot of people want to hack and do things like that, so it is less likely to respond to such kind of disallowed content, right? But the good part, it is more concise. If you do a prompt, you will have less wordy answers, and that is also super important. You give them specific to the point prompt, right? And the formatting of answers is very clean. I mean, I would anyways show you some examples, but then the answers which I have got, I've won 15 plus competitions. I've made it to finals with my startups, and the formatting, everything I give credit to the GPT, because it has really helped me to make some amazing slides. It has really helped me to present my thoughts in a much better format. Formatting also matters, right? How do you present yourself? That is also, it matters, right? And you can also determine the model's tone, style, and behavior. I'm going to show you this as well in few seconds, right? Because again, when we talk about the tonality, right? I mean, what kind of tone it is, you're going to ask a question, what kind of style it is, what kind of behavior you're trying to get around that, right? And it has been integrated with a lot of apps, Duolingo, Excel, and Intercom. I use Intercom recently. I've signed up with Intercom. A lot of calling and facilities it has. So for startups, I mean, if anybody wants to know what are the free 6 months things you can get for startups, you can write to me. You can add me on LinkedIn. I can share some of the quality resources I have with 6 months free access for startups who are building anything, what tech or something like that. So I can share those kind of access. And these are amazing tools you can use. Now it's integrated imaging with Chat GPT-4. Even I don't want to go to Canva personally every time, so I've just integrated Canva with Chat GPT-4. It's inbuilt. So I want to create a poster. I really don't have to, do every time login. I just do one time login, and then it's sorted, and I can really derive a lot of posters and things like that, right? So these are some of the prompt engineering basics. Now, before we go back, to the theoretical and the basics of what prompt engineering, I'll just quickly show you my screen, which will be about chat gpt. Right, so this is how my screen is looking like. As you can see, I have all the models. The GPT-4, now the recent one is GPT-4o, which is freely available to people with limited prompts, right? But when I go to GPT-4, I have installed AI PRM. This is a plugin you can install, which has inbuilt prompts, as I was explaining. So you can see there are different topics. I have an interest, let's say, in generative AI, and I want to, get some information about, let's say, DALI. I also want to check what are the, sorted by top views, and let's say I'm going to use this, right? So I can get some kind of freely available prompts already available, made free by some of the great people, as you can see. So it is giving me a prompt like generate images using DALI 3, generate video prompts for Sora, right? So this is with generative AI with DALI. Now I want to search with marketing. I'm really passionate about marketing, and I want to know about some startup ideas. And I want to see the latest ones. Something. which is there. So there's no one putting right now on the latest part, right? So let's see if we have anything which someone has put, with startup. So I don't think they have put anything with GPT-4. Let's try if we can get it with not specific. Yeah. So people have put with GPT-3 or maybe 3.5 or something like that. So I want to get some startup ideas. So what kind of things I need to search on my prompt. So I can search something like business startup idea generator Genie. So this is a specific prompt. So what I do is I just click here, and under this I can give a prompt. Okay, so here some description is given about what exactly you have to give, in terms of clarity. So I will just suggest, here you can see industry name and example and technology. So I will just write edtech, and what kind of technology. So let's say I want to mention AIML. Okay, so I just want to see if there's anything I can get, specifically, in terms of this, right? So here are some examples they are saying, like how we can utilize it. So let's say you are an edtech startup which is into AIML, and you want to think about what are the ways how we can utilize it together. Let's say you are someone who is into technology space and you want to put an industry together. So these are some of the specific answers to the prompt. One is personalized learning. So we can do this digital learning tools, create over LMS and things like that. Automated assessment, so you can prepare some tests, you can do something about grading and things like that. Yeah, this is super important. Predictive analytics, so I can use ML to ensure, like, student will get a better solution to the learning behaviors, right? Intelligent tutoring system, there's a lot of tools right now which you can do one on one. Even I have seen, like, for interviews you actually don't need to be physically present. There's an AI tool which can take your interview, one on one. It can really behave like a human and give you the solutions. Content generation, this I don't have to explain. I mean, you can get best photos, diagrams, and things like that. LMS I have already discussed. NLP, yeah, this is also one of the important things I wanted to discuss. So someone who is a disabled, okay, so let's say they want to learn a new language, or let's say they want to ensure, like, they are not able to utilize it. They want some support in terms of learning, reading, writing, so they can use this using their voice and modularities and things like that. Modularity, right? Robotics and simulations, like, so I have seen a lot of IoT robotics working with this kind of thing. So these are some things you can implement in your edtech startup. And you see, the effort I did here is two things. First is I just went back and I selected, prompt which is inbuilt with this tool, and I selected the industry and the technology which is it was asking, right? And then it has given me such beautiful eight different kind of ideas, right? Just a button of click. Think about you going and you putting the entire one liner, two liners, and things like that. That's how fast your GPT-4 model is, and that's a beautiful power it can have, with your chat GPT. I'm going to show you something else important as well. A lot of people come to me, they say, like, Abilik, I want to write something emotional post. Okay, so I want to say about, like, look, India won the World Cup. I want to write an interesting LinkedIn post on that, right? So you can select a tone called emotional, and you can put it even poetic if you like, right? So you can probably put a prompt. You can select something from here. Maybe you talk about, let's say, productivity, and you want to probably try to summarize something. Maybe you go to a website and you want to summarize something, and you want to see what is available, and then you can probably analyze ESPN cricket info, what they have mentioned about India winning the World Cup against South Africa. So they can analyze the website and summarize and create an proper emotional poetic LinkedIn post for you. I mean, and that's the thing, right? It can summarize, it can analyze a lot of thing it can do. Even it can become your personal email assistant, so you can send those emails to a lot of people, right? And even if you want to this is also one of my favorite I use. So let's say I want to read a lot of books. I don't have time. I cannot actually read the entire book. I put the link of the book, if it's online, so I just put the link, and it will give me the book summary. Okay, so let's say there are 150 books I want to read in 1 year. So I'll just every single day I'll just go and I'll just put the summary link, and it will give me in nutshell. And that is how you can start, and saving your time. Because think about you going reading a book which is going to take you, let's say, 16 hours or 17 hours to finish that 300 or 400 page book, right? So that's the power of this kind of, these are like prompts freely available, and these are like, as you can see, given by GPT-4, and the good part here you can see here is you can also rewrite it if you feel like you need to write it better. You have any questions, it can clarify it. You can expand, summarize, you can paraphrase it, you can summarize, you can also add some of the things with super powered chat GPT. So this is also something I have used. And you can add more phrases if you like, so you want to give a custom prompt saying, I want to like get a solution, so you want to get a solution, startup idea solution. Okay, so you are applying for, or let's say you're applying for a startup idea competition, so you just save this and you can just use this. You can also export it. You can do it through voice conversation. There's a lot of options you can do. So this is called a super power chat GPT. It is available on all the stores, freely once you can try. Right, so it's been made by Saeed Izadi, right? So if you want, you can probably check this out. This is a very interesting tool. One more thing I wanted to highlight before I jump back to the PowerPoint presentation is my favorite Cider app. You can see here I have just installed the plugin. So what it does is it helps me with a lot of things. Now, I really don't want to read all those entire YouTube comments. Let's say I don't want to see all those videos long, right? So I want to summarize YouTube things. So it can summarize it for me. I want to translate a PDF. I want to, get a OCR done, right? Or let's say I want to, write an article on AI. I want to. This is also important. I think a lot of people want to do, like they want to remove a background, they want to replace a background and things like that. So this is what the tool does, and it can be integrated with your Edge, Google Chrome. It's available everywhere, right? So you can use the free tool and you can get a lot of things, not just with the basic GPTs, but also with everything, right? So you can get everything in a fraction of seconds. So this is one interesting tool I wanted to recommend. Right, this is like one of my favorite tool which I use on a day-to-day basis. Right, there's another tool I was using earlier. I'm not using it right now, but I can still recommend. It's called Sidekick. So you can integrate your WhatsApp, Gmail, Slack, Discord, Zoom. So for free, you can integrate 5. If you take a paid version, you can also integrate more, right? So you can see, like, I can integrate LinkedIn, my calendar, Chat GPT, Asana, right? So everything can be integrated in that one specific, like page. Okay, so anything I wanted to open, I really don't have time to go through multiple tabs. So I'll put it in this, and this vertical tabs can be amazing. I can do a lot of things on this, so I can recommend this Sidekick. I mean, you can also use the trial version and use it. I mean, it's free always in terms of trials. All right, so these are some two important things I wanted to quickly highlight. Now let's go back to the PPT, right? So yeah, let's go with the advanced part now. Now you have understood the basics of what prompt looks like. I've shown you some examples. A lot of people come to me saying, like, look, I have really learned about the basics of prompt engineering. Now I want to go next level. Okay, so I want to master prompt engineering, right? So one easiest way is you go to a website, you learn a course, or you take a physical immersion program, which is at the best premises. Like you go to IIT Chennai, you go to IIM Ahmedabad, and you can learn that. But if budget is a problem, you can still go to Coursera. You can try some courses. So I am also a beta tester for Coursera. Some courses I also check before they release. Right. So that is also something I really love to do when it comes to AI/ML courses. Right. So you can check all those websites, learn that. But then when it comes to complex prompt structures, first you have to master your prompt engineering, the fine tuning and things like that with the basics. The moment you have mastered it, you can really go to the next step where you can write prompts in fraction of seconds, right? Think about, you have learned Java, or you have learned Python, but now you want to learn advanced, right? So you have to first know the basics correct. If you can know the basics correct, then you can go to the next step, right? The most important is precision and customization, because again, if you can really tailor your prompt, it will give you precise and targeted response, right? So it's just like, any musician, having a great lyrics, but then they want to go to the next level. Maybe they want to get selected at Netflix, they want to get selected, with Amazon Prime. So they put their effort, they use this GPT to make sure they put some effort on their lyrics, on the way how they sound. They want to practice with someone online, offline. So all those kind of ideas they do, and they do that advanced prompt engineering, and then they make it to such kind of amazing platforms, right? So that is what an advanced prompt engineering is. Quickly, I'll discuss one personal success considering time, so I'll just discuss one. So like there was a project I was doing, with a not-for-profit organization. It's one of the largest in the world. It's in 160 plus countries. It was Omdena, right? So there was a project where we were doing deep fake data set, where we were trying to get that specific thing to understand the likeliness of a real human action, right? So I have to do that literal research from the scratch, because this is going to be implemented with Netflix, and like one of the production houses in UK. They want to implement this. They want to ensure, like, let's say any kind of a Bollywood or Hollywood actor wants to ensure that they have a right set of a deepfake data set of one AI person, who is going to repeat how they behave, how they talk, what is their lip sync and things like that. So one can develop this model with ChatGPT. We got a chance to do this audio data collection, model training, fine tuning, manipulations, using this all kind of tools. So this is just an example what kind of deepfake data set we were trying to get it. Right, and then this is now getting ready. It's going to the market, and tomorrow when you will see all those actors in Bollywood, Hollywood, or different Tollywood, every industry, you will find their digital likeliness, person there, who's going to represent them. Because think about Akshay Kumar, right? So he doesn't have time to travel to Canada, and he would really like someone who is trust his party using blockchain. He can approve it, saying this is my digital likeliness model approved. That model can replicate Akshay Kumar's way, how he talks, how he walks, and how he acts. And because it's a win-win for both. It is a win for producer. They're going to save a lot of money, because think about traveling from India to Canada, giving them hotel and things like that. Similarly, for an actor, they can take more projects. They can take more pictures in a particular year, right? So it's a win-win for both the parties, and that's how ChatGPT is delivering. So I've been working on one of such projects. I just wanted to highlight, right? There are a lot of practical examples I can give, but I'll just like to quickly omit this slide, considering the first thing, which is about time saving thing, right? So this is more about how do you save time. I have already discussed this in our previous slides, right? So it's about how do you do things and automate things like that, right? This one also I have discussed, initially, but it's just a next version of that. Now you use Microsoft Teams, for example, right? And you want to delegate a lot of tasks. I remember I am a volunteer at one of the event, which is happening in US, in September, and we had to, go to sessionize and select the speakers. So we had to give them rating. We had a task to do that in one day, 80 speakers, right? So we have to judge those 80 speakers on a set of parameters, whether they are going to make it to the event or not, right? Parallelly, we also got the chance to invite a lot of, so a lot of work we got rolling with the help of this. And with ChatGPT, we can really do a lot of things. We can really customize a lot of things. So that has been one of an example I can share. Right, this is how my chat gpt actually looks like. So this is just a photo, or let's say an image, which I am probably showing you, right? So now, before I go to the concluding part, I'll just go back to the chat GPT and show you something interesting. Now, a lot of people are here. I'm sure there's also an option called temporary chart. So you can select this, and this will be, for a particular time you can select this. This is also an option. You can do that, right? Another thing, you can see, like, I go back here, and let's say I want to see what are the different kind of GPTs I have integrated with ChatGPT. I'm sure you would like to know what are the things I can get with GPT-4 once I have those things and things like that. So you can see here, these are featured ones. These are selected. So like landing page. Let's say you want to create a landing page. Now you're doing a meetup activity, and you really want to bring them on a website. So you want to create a landing page for them, right? So you can quickly go and use this prompt. With HubSpot, you can do it in a fraction of days, right? Similarly, you want to specifically use community GPTs. So these are like free GPTs which is being provided by this. So there's like 82,000 plus GPTs. So you can imagine like the amount of things which is available, right? So depending upon what you want, you can filter it and you can get it. All right, but then again, the good part is these are all complementary to when you start using the GPT-4 model, right? And even I was very passionate about learning things and things like that. So I use, a lot of things like Tutor Me. So this is like a personal AI tutor by Khan Academy, right? So a lot of questions you can get those answers and things like that. Similarly, someone is interested in astrology, fitness, travel, song, right? So a lot of things you can learn through lifestyle programming. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people out there here are from programming it, so you can learn a lot of things using this kind of technologies which is available for free. And if you click see more, you will get a lot of other tools as well. So depending upon what you want to learn, what you want to utilize your skill, there's a lot of options available. I just wanted to quickly show you this as well, because this is also important. You can learn. A lot of people use Excel, so this is also something like a powerful Excel assistant I can recommend. It's called Excel GPT, right? It really saves a lot of your time that way, right? A lot of people come to me, Abhilek, what is about productivity? You've been talking about productivity. Can you recommend some tools for productivity? So this is one of my favorite, which is about AI voice generator, so text to speech, right? So let's say you're typing something, you want a proper AI tool to give you a lecture about that, or let's say a voice to convert to a speech. It can do that for you very quick, right? So this is like one I can recommend. Resume, this is for students out there who are students and they want to apply for jobs and things like that. Even for corporate professionals looking for alternate jobs, you can use this tool for resume, right? Similarly, you can also use tools like image generator code. So this is also very useful if you want to create very engaging images and things like that. I don't have to discuss about like diagrams and things. I'm sure you already know it. And even Canva, right? This video GPT also, a lot of people are here, Gen Z's, they want to do a lot of Instagram reels, TikTok, YouTube and things like that. I would recommend to use video GPT by Veed. This is an amazing tool and you can do it, and make it very short and very precise. So these are very specific tools which you can use in terms of that. If you want to go to lifestyle and you feel like you want to travel, I'm sure there's a lot of people who like solo traveling or who love to travel, so you can use this. And if you want to plan for your flights, so there are a lot of AI tools I would recommend. If you want to make sure, so there's an AI tool, which if you just Google it, you will get it, where it can plan. Okay, so let's say you want to go to a country like Japan and you want to plan everything. Let's say where to stay, as cheap as possible, which flight to take, which transportation to take. So it can prepare your itinerary, it can prepare your end to end schedule, right? And that's the beautiful thing all these tools can do, right? Similarly, I mean, if you are a passionate like me, want to read more books, you can go with this tool for books, right? So there's a lot we can go, but the important thing which I wanted to quickly highlight is there's a lot of tools you can do. And there's also enhanced GPT store, which is also another one which you can also see, which you want to learn, which would be the next part. You want to learn more, you want to do things like that. Though I have to disable this to get this because I think it is not compatible with AI PRM, right? So you can also learn different kind of advanced GPT tools as well, right? So these are some of the examples which I really wanted to highlight, considering the time. And I'm sure there will be a lot of questions, so I'm happy to take if there are any questions. So yeah, I mean, that's all, Navneet, from my side.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhi. Thank you for sharing it. It gave us what tools we can use for our day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Thank you. And let's see. We can see the comments if any questions. Audience, please post your questions if any in the chat. We are happy to answer. Yeah, one question from Suburaj: how to add AI PRM to GPT-4?
I think it's very easy. So you just go to any of the tools. Let's say you're on Microsoft Edge, just type AI PRM. So you will get basically an extension, just like you have it for Chrome. So you just have to click that, install it, and then when you go back to your model, you just have to go here, and you can probably go to the extensions, and then you have to put this as show in toolbar. So when you click this show in toolbar, it will show here. So when you click this, you can use that tool, right? Similarly, the tools which I have mentioned, so you can use any of those tools. So you just have to go to Google, and you have to just use that plugin. It's like a plugin basically, so it can be done very quickly. So just go to Google and type it, you will get it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, yeah, I guess we never thought of we use AI in our day-to-day life like this. After ChatGPT, things
Right.
changed, right? And also, many people are doing some apps or some small applications before this, and all those things get replaced with ChatGPT.
Right. I mean, the best country you can look up to is Shanghai. So if you go to Shanghai, you can see how they have implemented in transportation. They have implemented in their, Alipay. They have implemented everywhere AI. I mean, that is a dream in India if it happens. Everything is enabled with AI, right? And that's what the future is. Just
Yeah.
like you talk about the QR code, as you can see on the screen, this you can quickly scan it. This was a dream, 5 or 10 years before. Now you go everywhere, any part of the India we go, we'll find it. We can scan it. We can do the payment. We can scan, get
UPI.
someone's information. Yeah. Now, yeah,
Yes.
UPI. But then now with AI coming to the picture, with ChatGPT making it integrated with all these tools, our life is going to be much easier. So that's a beautiful thing.
True. True. Very true.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we come to end of the session. Thank you, Abhilek, for
Sure.
spending time and sharing your day-to-day tools, whatever you are using, sharing with our community. And thank you, audience. Thanks for joining us. Hope the session was useful. Please post your questions, if any, in the chat or comments. Later, Abhi can look and provide it. And yes, amazing session, Abhi. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you. Thank you
for
for having
sharing.
me.
Yep. Looking forward to
Sure.
have you in our next session as well. Thank you,
Sure.
Abhi. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a
Bye
great
bye.
evening. Thank you. Bye.